month I've been away, and the house has run basically on the gas-powered Ecogen generator that I left running for the whole month to keep the house warm and stop the pipes freezing. I came in on the last day of January and put an extra gas fire on because the house had dropped to 16 degrees, and while many people find that perfectly acceptable, I, having just come back from New Zealand in the middle of summer, it felt a little bit chilly. So that, apart from that end one, that's basically just the Baxi Ecogen running on its generator only without the backburner, the auxiliary boost burner. Now for the same month, here is our electricity consumption. Now the scale alters automatically, so it only goes up to 18 pence there. Now, so you use less than £1 worth of electricity on the most expensive day we had, and our total bill for the month, total electricity cost for a large house with big windows, with the fridges, the freezers, the security cameras, dozens of security cameras, modems, lights, dehumidifier in the garage, another one in the old Jaguar keeping it dry, and electricity consumption was £12.32 for the whole month. Now, adjusted for 10 years ago prices, because electricity's gone up threefold and gas has gone up fourfold, that would represent around £4 worth of electricity and around £60 worth of gas at pre-inflation, overinflation prices. That is actually pretty well incredible for a large house. You know, with that co-generating heat and power boiler, we've basically got literally the Toyota Prius of houses. Now let's go back a bit, because the boiler actually played up. Now, it happens. Boilers break down. It happens. However, British Gas were utterly hopeless, and it took quite a bit of fixing effort before we got it working properly. Now, the scale has changed. Nonetheless, for the warmer month of October, we used £120 worth of gas. That's roughly half what we used in the cold month of December, because we've had a long period of quite cold weather. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong figures. I'm being an idiot. It's funny, they've chosen blue for gas and orange for electricity, which is counterintuitive. But here we go. In the warmer month of October, we use £163 worth of gas, but we used £120 worth of electricity. Now, at pre-inflation prices, that's roughly £60 worth of electricity. So 10 years ago, my mother looked at the electricity bill, that would have been about 60 quid. And as you can see there, for those 3 days, and I remember this, looking at it a couple of months ago, we had the generator working for 3 days. And had the generator running for 3 days, and you see there, sorry, I'm not aiming the camera properly. See there, we had, that must have been a fairly warm day, because we didn't use any gas, hardly any gas at all, either in the gas fire or the generator. But the weather was getting colder, and so the arrival of the generator was actually quite timely. Now, it's amazing. We use 34 kilowatt hours of gas. Sorry, we use 34 kilowatt hours of electricity that day in October, and it's 22, 27, 24. Now the generator generates roughly 20 kilowatt hours worth of electricity a day, so you know that makes a big chunk out of that. The thing is probably saving us in the order around £100 a month during the winter month, and that's handy because our solar panels aren't generating. That's the day we got our new smart meter, and so that's the start of monitoring. Same with gas. We started to burn That's probably only a part of the previous day's reading, so that we can discount that one. That's our gas consumption. £28 worth of gas for use for just that period in the warmer months. And we use £43 worth of electricity just for that period during the warmer months. And then that's electricity. We got the boiler working for 3 days. I remember that. I remember it working sporadically for on and off, and you can see it in the electricity consumption. Then it was off for about 2 weeks or thereabouts while the British Gas got their act together. I do know that even though it was running, we had various people coming to inspect it and do tests, so it wasn't running continuously, and you could see that in the figures. I do remember that. So we had £76 cost for electricity that month. Gas consumption is up and down mainly because of heat, and bears little resemblance to the running of the generator, because either the generator's heating the house or the gas heaters are heating the house, or the back burner built into the generator boiler itself is heating the house. So gas consumption is basically down to demand for heat. Gas. But you can see there the flat lining of our gas consumption. And you can see there, again, the approximate flat lining of our gas consumption. That correlates to when the generator was working. And over Christmas, we had a house full and the oven was going and there was a lot on. So even though the generator was working, we had people were using the house for Christmas and the ovens and everything were on. And we weren't here. We'd gone on holiday by then. And I suspect people might be running electric heaters, because there's an electric heater kicking about in the hallway. But there, when Christmas was over, look what happened to electricity consumption. I went from £5 a day to 44 pence a day. 10 years ago prices, that £5 a day would have been around £2, and the 45 pence there would have been about 15 pence. So the fact of the matter is, the modifications we've made to the house, including the solar panel and all of that, solar panels and the Ecogen, have just about kept up with the 4 times and 3 times increase of gas and electricity prices. So, with that 10 years ago, that 52 would have been around 20 less. And for gas, that 256 would have been around 60 quid. So that's the reality of living in a world where the price of energy has gone up 4 times. So the irony is, because energy is now 4 times more expensive, the fact that the Ecogen and the solar panels are saving, basically eliminating our electricity bill, means we are saving far more money than we actually appreciate. The irony being, the increase in cost of energy has disguised that saving, so it may appear that we haven't actually saved anything over the cost of running the house 10 years ago. I distinctly remember 10 years ago we were getting bills and there was sort of £300 a month, £200 a month total. I distinctly remember that. And here we are. The price of energy has gone up between 3 and 4-fold, and it's still costing us, what is it? We're in the middle of winter now, and it costs, £200. But the scale changes. So although these bars look very big, it's only like 54 pence worth of electricity, 12 pence worth of electricity to run the house, with the difference between the generator and what our appliances are using. And that's mainly when things switch on and pull a heavy current. It has to take a bit of electricity from the mains. But that's £12, and that's 54 pence. Go back to when the Ecogen wasn't working. Back into November, and that's £4, £4, some of them nearly £5. There's one there, nearly £6. That's 120. So 120 becomes 12. So basically, simplistically, the Ecogen has basically cut our electricity bill to a tenth of what it would normally be. And we're coming off OVO because they are more expensive. I've gone for the cheapest company we can find, which ironically is a green energy company that supplies all its electricity and gas from renewable sources. So it kind of tells you the economics of renewable energy are really catching up if the cheapest quote I can get for our energy usage pattern is from an entirely 100% based renewable energy company. But there we have it. So we're coming off this, so OVO Energy. So this display, we won't have it anymore, although I'm hoping that the new company has a similar arrangement on their website that we can check our energy consumption now that we've got smart meters. Really, that is just impressive. You know, I've had security cameras and light. The security light on the front of the house never turns off. Let me show you something. You see everything lit up out there. Security light going. We had lights going in the house. As you can see, it's a decent sized house. Look at those huge windows, and those blinds weren't down. I put those down. We've got security cameras absolutely everywhere. We've got a fridge, a big one, a freezer, a big one, dehumidifier in the garage, a dehumidifier in the old car to dry it out, the project restoration car, and £12 worth of electricity. And that is just really rather amazing. And you know what? That doesn't include the money we get paid to generate renewable power. That doesn't include the money we get paid to run what is basically an eco-friendly power station. There it is there. You hear that humming? Bzzz. That humming, that's the engine. That's the engine that's generating our electricity. And look at that. Basically, we're getting free power. Free electric power. We've got solar panels, but in the depths of the British winter, where the sun is low in the sky, behind all the trees, the solar panels don't really do much. So in the winter, when we're generating heat, the Ecogen boiler generates our electricity. In the summer, when the Ecogen isn't running, or running less, because the heater never goes off in this house, the solar panels take over. Because as it happens, the person I share this house with, I apologise that the phone is going out of focus as it does that. The person I share this house with likes it warm. They're elderly, and it is commonplace to have the thermostat set to 22, 23 degrees. Well, that's basically balmy. Many people are quite happy to have the house at 16 or 17 degrees, which is what it's been when we've been away. It's roughly averaged out about that with just the engine running on the Ecogen. So when we're, before we went away on holiday, you need to realise that this, I keep getting mixed up because to me electricity is blue and gas is orange. It's strange, but you know, we burnt £12 worth of gas that day on these colder days when you get the real cold snaps. But you must understand the person I share this house with not only likes it roastingly hot, but basically likes all of it hot. So every room in the house is heated. And it's precisely because we have such high gas consumption that we decided to take advantage of the very high heat demand of the house to basically use that heat demand as a cooling, as the cooling heat, reject heat of a mini power station. So in effect, we're heating the house off the waste heat from a miniature gas-fired power station rather than just burning gas just to generate heat. So in effect, we're using the energy that a power station would normally throw away in cooling towers. In this house, the cooling tower is the house itself. So that kind of offsets the high carbon emissions of basically a very high consumption lifestyle. Not particularly me. I'm quite happy to put a jumper on and sit here at around 17, 18 degrees now that I've got used to the British weather. It's only the day I came home from New Zealand. I've been ferociously hot for the past month, and then I come to a bleak, freezing cold British winter. Come in the house, first thing I did was stick the fire on. Got 16 degrees, felt cold, but actually now that I've warmed up a bit, I'm quite happy sat here. The house is around 18 degrees now. Quite happy with that. And so there you have it. And my phone's just gone bing, so I'm going to end this video and probably get back to you later.